Apple came out with several new products for their spring event, and here we have the brand new 2021 Apple TV 4K with the new Siri Remote. In this video, I'll be unboxing the new streaming device, setting it up, and running through some of its features. For Apple, the past few weeks have been busy. Apple has released one more product after releasing the M1 iMac and the iPad Pro. I bring you my review of the Apple TV 4K for 2021. The packaging is the same white we get with all of the Apple products, and the Apple TV pictured on the front. Opening the box, we're immediately greeted with the new Apple TV and Siri Remote. Underneath, we have the power cable and documentation, also including stickers. A USB to Lightning cable is also included. The design is exactly the same as the previous models, all except for the new remote. From a hardware perspective, there are a few things to note. The new model now uses Apple's A12 Bionic chip instead of its 10X Fusion chip from the previous model. On the back is an HDMI 2.1 port that enables higher bandwidths and 120Hz frame rates. Wi-Fi 6 comes standard and is an improved wireless streaming experience, which offers increased speed and increased wireless paths for better communication with your router. The mesh network also has a built-in thread support, allowing for low-power device connectivity. The new Siri Remote is one of the most exciting features. It has a new aluminum enclosure, more buttons, and a touch-sensitive click pad that is a vast improvement over the old one. Setting up the Apple TV is incredibly simple. Apple TV can be accessed by simply unlocking your iPhone and holding it near the device. There will be a card at the bottom, like when you set up AirPods, HomePods, or Apple Cards, or any other Apple device. Then you just follow the steps for everything to be transferred automatically, including your home network, Apple ID, and other settings. You can enable the home screen feature here if you have activated it on another Apple TV. Your devices will automatically mirror your current settings as far as apps and layout are concerned. A new feature in your iPhone compares your TV's color balance to industry standards using its light sensor. As a result, Apple TV will automatically adjust its video output to compensate for any inaccuracies in your TV's picture settings. There is no change to your TV or receiver. It's simply optimizing the colors in the signal produced by your Apple TV. To do this, with your iPhone unlocked and nearby, open the Settings app on your Apple TV. Then go to Video and Audio menu. Click on the color balance option and follow the instructions and place your iPhone in the center of your TV. Once Apple TV begins the balancing process, multiple colors will be detected within its screen by true-depth cameras in the iPhone. tvOS will read the obtained color data and find the best color settings for your television. At the end of the process, you can compare the original colors of your TV with the colors defined by tvOS color balancing. After I used the color balancing feature, I noticed the colors became warmer and more natural. However, keep in mind that these adjustments apply only to your Apple TV and not to other media content on the television. Over the last week, I've exclusively used Apple TV for watching TV and movies. Before getting the new Apple TV, I was just using my PlayStation for some of my TV watching. Using YouTube and YouTube TV from the TV remote would be ideal, mainly because controlling them was easier than with the previous Siri Remote. And even with the remote app on the iPhone, the Siri Remote consists of an aluminum unibody that's taller, heavier, and thicker than the old remote. Although it's slightly narrower than the black remote, it still feels larger, and that's a plus. In the past, the Siri Remote was so thin that it could easily be lost. In my opinion, it won't be as problematic with this new remote. Apple's renewed focus on hard edges is evident in the Siri Remote. You don't really feel the edges of the remote when you hold it, but you do when you hold it from the back. The back metal is curved, but there's still a hard edge on both sides. The remote should be reasonably comfortable if you don't squeeze too tight. As opposed to having what basically amounted to a trackpad on the top section of the remote, Apple used a jog wheel similar to the iPod. The circular center button allows you to swipe around content or move in any direction. Apple is now including the far more precise D-pad as an option for some streaming apps that didn't work perfectly using the touch panel. With the Apple Touchpad, you can now choose your preferred navigation method, and the learning curve is very short. When I first using the touchpad, I would accidentally activate it when I went to move my finger down or up or vice versa on the wheel. Fortunately, this didn't last too long, but if you find that to be a bigger hassle, then there's an option in the remote setting menu to set the center button to click only, which removes the touch feature. With Apple's new jog wheel function, you can circle your finger around the outer ring to flick through videos fast or slow, depending on how quickly you move your thumb around the circle. A great throwback to the iPod click wheel, it helps you reach a specific point in the video. The new Apple TV Siri Remote makes this all so much easier. With a power button at the top, you can turn on the TV and receiver and then are taken straight to your Apple TV interface. You also don't have to switch to another remote while watching TV when you have the volume controls and the mute button right there for you. If you don't want the screensavers that Apple includes in its OS running when you're done, the power button will also shut everything down. With the new Apple TV Siri Remote, anyone can easily begin watching, power on, and turn everything off without touching any other remote. With the previous model, you probably couldn't do that since the instructions weren't as clear and as obvious as they are now. Seeing that as a win is immediately satisfying. A neat feature of the remote is that when you pick it up, the TV senses this and immediately wakes from sleep. On a side note, the new Siri Remote lacks an accelerometer and gyroscope, which were both featured on the previous Siri Remote, and is incapable of motion-controlled video games that require them. That being said, the latest Apple Arcade games like NBA 2K, Ultimate Rivals, and open-world-esque games like World of Demons run smoother and look nicer on the new Apple TV 4K. Apple is always adding new games to its streaming service, so this new streaming box could open up more opportunities for intense games, especially now that you can use your Xbox or PS5 controller with it. I'd like to go into the main reason why you might want to buy and use the Apple TV 4K, which is for watching movies and TV shows. With the A12 Bionic, you will experience better graphics performance along with new video decoding and improved audio. You can open apps more quickly, and the interface is noticeably faster. When you play the video, you get great, real-life pictures and sounds. A feature I immediately wanted to test was HDR at high frame rates. Apple TV 4K requires HDMI 2.0, but to get to most of the new 2021 version, you will need HDMI 2.1, as this feature is only available with the new model. According to Apple, content providers like NBC and Universal are working together to develop high frame rate HDR content for Apple TV. For this review, I watched some high frame rate HDR videos. You can easily see how high frame rate HDR improves your images. The system works well for movies and shows with fast-paced action sequences. I'm looking forward to seeing more content created in 4K high frame rate, and I'd like to see more of this format in the future. I was also impressed by other 4K Dolby Vision content and didn't find myself having to worry about pulling off the calibrate color on my Apple TV manually. In that respect, the A12 Bionic does its job. Siri had been one area that I hardly used in the past. However, the new Siri button on the side of the remote makes it so much more obvious than the previous remote. Relocating it to the side aligns with the design of all of Apple's iOS devices, like the iPhone and the iPad. The Apple TV 4K has been a great way for me to use Siri more than I did in the past 3 years with its predecessor. Naturally, everybody will have their preferences when it comes to using Siri. I found it convenient to use features like the settings icon, or play content without having to navigate to it, or use HomeKit commands like turn off the lights. I must admit, if I didn't have the Siri button at my fingertips, I would just continue to navigate manually. But Siri does add to the Apple TV experience in a meaningful way. With Apple TV, you can now watch live sports, get access to late-breaking news, and watch live TV services online as if it were a part of the Apple ecosystem. You can also watch on-demand content like Netflix, Hulu, HBO Prime, and more. If you compare different set-top boxes, access to apps is almost universal, whether you use Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV. Apple TV comes to the rescue when you want to combine other Apple services with it, as it does so in a way that no other services could do. It allows you to access your Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, and iCloud photo library right from your TV. I believe that one of the best ways to use Apple Fitness Plus is on the Apple TV, which shows the data from your Apple Watch on the big screen, so it can be displayed right on the TV while you're working out. The A12 Bionic also allows for some great gaming with the Apple Arcade. Pull up a great game on Apple Arcade, pair a few controllers, and you've got a surprisingly rich viewing experience. Additionally, Apple TV 4 comes with a built-in HomeKit that acts as a hub for smart home devices, so you can control them with Siri or directly from the control center. The new device can be controlled remotely through this new feature. The Apple TV will also allow you access to HomeKit items such as cameras and doorbells. For $179, you'll get 32 GB of storage on the new Apple TV 4K. You can double your storage with the 64 GB model for just $20 more at $199. One of the questions I kept seeing was, does Apple new TV 4K make sense? Are there enough changes between the previous Apple TV 4K and this new one for me to warrant purchasing it? Especially since the new TV remote can be purchased separately. The decision to upgrade from the previous Apple TV 4K is going to be driven by the faster interface, better handling of Dolby Vision, additional high frame rates HDR, and better graphics performance. If you're uncertain of your upgrade options, you can watch my Apple TV 4K should you buy video. The new Apple TV 4K has some amazing features. Watching movies and TVs are stunning in HDR and at 120Hz. Listening to music with the lyrics on the big screen is always fun to see. Gaming with Apple Arcade's library of fun titles are easily a time sink. With all that said, if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell for further updates. I can't wait to see what Apple has in store for us at WWDC. Are any of you considering to upgrade? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.